Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream. And today we're going to be talking pretty much HQ18 in all its glory. We're going to be going through some of the concerns of testers, some of the balancing, some of the things we've been doing in testing. We can't go too much in depth, but I was talking about everything we've been doing. There's loads into HQ18 that people don't actually realise and don't know we've actually been doing behind the scenes. And one of my members messaged me today saying, "Oh, wasn't I forgot a code?" And I sort of sent him a gif of what it's been like the last few weeks. It's been absolutely mental trying to balance everything, trying to give our views on everything. There's so much happening, guys. More than just the HQ18 release. So we're talking everything HQ18 today. So if you've got any questions, guys, about HQ18, put it in the chat and I'll try my best to answer them if I've got the knowledge. But don't forget, as always, it's still not 100% ready yet. We've still got another week yet, and we're sort of frantically trying to get some answers to stuff, balance some stuff. I mean, from what I can see, most things are working as intended, I hope. But there's still some balancing, I feel there's still a few things that need tweaking. But yeah, as Yannis sort of said today, it is kind of impossible to balance everything with the time frame we've got. I know that HQ18's already gone past what it should have been. Personally, I think it should be released after Christmas. I kind of do. But they've got time frames, they've got schedules, so I kind of get it. My only concern is that obviously we're coming to Christmas now, so we need to get it out and sort of balance very quickly. But that is all, up to debate, really, what's going to happen. But excited for it coming. I am excited for it coming still. We've had HQ17 for too long, in my opinion. I'm very, pleased that it's come. I'm glad the way they've done it. But yeah, HQ18 all the way today. Cannot wait for HQ18. Really, really excited. But yeah, again, put it in the chat. Any questions, and I will try and answer it the best I can. What else? We'll be talking a bit about the series that we've just started posting, that me, Tex, and Fresius I've just started doing. So interesting series, and as always, if you're in my Discord, especially the members, then put it in the chats and let me know any topics you think we want to talk about. So the series is Unpopular Opinions. So it's something that some people have an opinion of, but others might not. Something that's your opinion. So me, Tex, and sort of Fresius sort of put, and whoever else we might have got on there, sort of put our ideas on, unpopular opinions that we have as people in the game, that we maybe tell people that not everyone else sort of follows. So it's just a good debate about things and viewpoints in the game, and it is a good series. So I started posting a few of them. I've got a few more to go, so be sure to check out that series of Unpopular Opinions. It's pretty cool if you're interested in in different viewpoints in the game, things you might not have thought of, and ways to get more out of the game. Or there might be a certain bot that you've got and you don't really think it's good, but unpopular opinion might be that bot is actually pretty good and it can be used in a certain situation. So go and check the series out, guys. Quite proud of it. It was a good idea a while back. I think I had it over the summer, this idea to do this. It's been a long time coming, and we finally sort of got to do it, and we plan to do more sort of next year, hopefully. So yeah, loads of content as always, and the only way you can get to see all this content is by subscribing to the channel. As always, we've just hit 4,600 subs, trying to get to 5,000. So appreciate everyone that's subbed. But if you're watching and not subbed already, get subbed. And then following on from that, we've got our member giveaway. So all my platinum members every 2 months go in for a $50 gift card giveaway at the end of the month. And I have said if I do get to 20 platinum members, I will make it $75. So, the more members I get, the more I can give away. So, if you're considering being a platinum member, guys, then yeah, you'll be in with a shot of a $50 gift card. So yeah, go and check that out. And not just a gift card giveaway, you know, I have little one-to-ones, things like that, priority chat, a little bit of insight into my content, things like that. So you get a little bonus in between as well. So yeah, if you think about being a platinum member, then look at my channel under the membership tab and yeah, give it a go. But as always, let's crack on with the stream. Let's see who we've got in the stream today. So we've got Stay Puffed. Thanks for joining, buddy. First in the stream. Lord Avix was second. I know you guys like to know who was first and second my end. So there you go. Richard Trinder. We've also got Chris Harmon and Grind Time. How's it going, guys? Penny Lancaster. Thanks again for being members. Good luck in the draw. End of this month. We've got XD Deception as well. Volcanicus #1. Esclar Hosse. William Wilkinson. Chip Cox. We've got Dojak. We've got Alpha Tryon. Mitchell. VF1J. We've got Erods. Freezus Max. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Ronald Van Holland. We've got... who else? Scrolling down. Carnage Mac, alright. Atari, thanks for joining, buddy. Chris Lewis, thanks for joining. We've got Terror of Titano. Okie dokie, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We've got Left Wrist Coffas. We've got... and it's just jumped ahead as always. We've got MD Prime. We've got Fogster Bomb. We've got Stinger. Thanks for joining, bud. Good to see you. Autobot Phil. Andy Swales. We've got DDEX76. Amier Philly. Good to see you, buddy. Landon Knott as well. Who else have we got? Jason Rowley as well. We've got Scorpio No Cardia. I hope that's right. I presume it's right. I think that is everyone. If I've missed anyone, apologies. But yeah, thanks to everyone for joining the stream. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at today's newsletter. So today's event is leveling the field. And don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions around HQ18, then put it in the chat. And once I've done the newsletter, I'll go through the questions and try and answer the best I can. So, bar week now, week Ninibong. Welcome to week 1 of the saga. So, the weekend's event is an individual totalizer for 35,000 points. Oh, and thank you, Dead Fox Prime, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, yeah, 35,000 point event. We've got 2,500 4-star shards, 7,500 3-star shards, 30,000 prems. Well, I always say this, 30,000 prem shard, which is 30 prems. A G metal and 10 gold power cores. 6 times 500,000 troop XP. WFC skin core, and then 300k spark, and then plenty of alloy and energon. So the rewards are sort of spread throughout. So me personally looking at this, you could easily sort of finish around, I don't know, around 10k-ish. And after that, it's just spark, power cores, total spark crystals after that. With all the shards sort of being before that. So yeah, decent event. You know, alright, it's like a 10k event with sort of extra tiers of power core, spark, and total spark. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't mind these events. It's like a 10k event with extra tiers. So I'm not, you know, I'm not going to do 35k. I'm not. But, you know, I get it's there for people that want to. So, you know, I do like these events. There's the option there to go more if you want. So, game updates and information. So, HQ18 arrives next week. It's going to be interesting. We also have cross-faction alliances from next Thursday. So, it's going to be interesting to see sort of, you know, there's certain teams that we know sort of align up. So TF and DJD have always sort of been quite, you know, quite tight in that sense. One and Scorched Earth have all been quite tight. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with these teams and whether they actually just merge together with the best players all being in one alliance, or will just a few players transfer over. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Does help the cons a lot more than the bots. I mean, the bots, it will help them as well because they'll get better teams. But yeah, there's a lot to be sort of said about this. I think it's a really, really good move from SpaceX. It's one of the few things they've done recently that's actually worked well, and is a good addition to the game. Yeah, super excited for this. And then they've sort of made an announcement saying that they've given us a rough ride over the last few weeks. I'm not gonna lie, even I've been quite positive about the game recently until the last month. So I went through a stage of, and you probably noticed in the streams before the summer, of getting really frustrated at a lack of progress and Titans being unbalanced and no ability 11s, no G1 cores really, and just a lack of content really. Then Fort Max came out, and Fort Max was like, it's alright, and the game was getting quite stale and sort of stuck in a rut, and I was getting frustrated at that. The bots that were coming out weren't very good. The combats weren't either. They weren't pushing, to the next level what was needed. We had the Unicron tournament, but it was a one-off tournament. We needed an extra level maybe. Prime League was too easy. But the game's progressed. It has. And, there's a lot of new content, but they've gone from one extreme to the other. They've gone from having no content coming up to frantically just releasing combat after combat and bot and new features and HQ18 and trying to do all this in the background. And they've kind of gone from, from that to a total extreme and overloading themselves to the point where, and I understand they're trying to fix things in the background. And I said this to Dale, and I understand things break while they're trying to do this. They're trying to better the game behind there. But for me, Trip Up was a perfect example of this. That Trip Up came out and wasn't working, and we said it's not working. They went, right, okay, right, he's fixed. Then it came out, the update is not fixed. It's still not working. Alright, we'll look at him. Alright, now he rushes along with Prime Rush. No, that was one half that wasn't working. What about the actual ability not working at all? What about that? Forget the Prime Rush. The Prime Rush will affect 1 in 10 people that actually rush. What about the 9 out of 10 people that want to use this bot? Forget the Prime Rush bit. That's secondary. The bot needs to work. Even if you fix that it's following the Prime Rush, what's the point if it's not working? Alright, we'll look at that. Then they went away. Right, okay, we've fixed it. No, you haven't. It's not fixed. And then today, I got some messages saying Triple's still not fixed. Went to Dale, like, Dale, it's still not fixed. It's like, oh no, it's coming next week. I'm like, how long does it take to fix a combat? We had Top Shot. Top Shot broke. Understand, listen, they're trying to do things in the background. They're trying to fix things, trying to improve things. I understand that. Top Shot broke. Okay, they came back. We've fixed it. No, you haven't. We've fixed it. It was overpowered. Alright, we've fixed it. No, you haven't. Oh, that's what we're doing with him now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, nothing got fixed quickly. It was weeks and too many days before things got fixed. The Dino Gate thing, I understand that kind of. I get it. Mistakes don't happen. But for me, we've had these mistakes before. The last Black Friday before that, we had bundles that were giving out more than what it should have. And even in my line of work, I say to my managers, mistakes happen. Mistakes do happen. But you need to sit down and go, right, okay, this happened. How are we good? What process are we going to put in place so it doesn't happen again? There's no good in making a mistake and going, oh, it was a mistake. It's like, no, it was a mistake, but how can we change the way we work so it doesn't happen again? What process can we put in place? And I don't feel like they're doing that. I feel like they're making the same mistakes over and over again. And they're saying sorry, oh, we apologise. But at what point are you going to stop making the same mistakes? With the scheduling. There's loads of things. So Dale asked me a while ago if we wanted to do a interview around HQ18, and I said, yeah, we can do. So that is going to be this Sunday, but we're obviously going to put these questions to him. I know we know some things we covered in stream, but we're going to go a bit more in depth, and hopefully Dale can answer sort of these things on, not just what's happened, but where we're going to be going forwards. So again, I put my members chat. I was like, if you got any questions for Dale, put it in the chat. So any questions that are in that chat, I will put to Dale. Remember, he's not a dev. He's not a developer. Remember that. He is community manager. So if it's something that you feel is, wrong in the game, something you want to see more, something you want to see less, then yeah, they're good questions I can sort of put to him and sort of maybe his thoughts on it. But if it's questions that like, when is this bot going to come out, he can't answer that. These questions like that are sadly going to get missed. So, you know, just think is Dale Anthony is not Giannis, but what questions would you like to put to him? So that is in my members chat. We're also going to be doing a live giveaway during that as well, because it's going to be my 500th video stroke stream for Transformers Earthworld, which is absolutely crazy. 500. So big shout out to everyone that supported the channel. Big thanks to you guys in the chat. Big thanks if you're watching this. 500 videos. If you would have told me, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I would have made 500 streams and videos for Earth Wars, and I thought you were absolutely crazy. Honestly, 500. And, you know, it's something that will be there forever on YouTube, you know, that I've done this, and I'm super, super proud of it. And, yeah, 500. So we are going to be doing a live giveaway as well, for a few people. So make sure you come and join us on Sunday. I think it's 6 p.m. UTC. Live stream with Dale, and you can put your questions to him live. Like I said, if one of my members and you ask a question that's viable, I will ask that, no doubt. Everyone else will have to just sort of meet us in the chat live to ask any questions. So yeah, super, super looking forward to that. But because of all this, in the 1 million events, they're going to do a non-dupe 4-star or 4-star combat, and there's been a Discord vote, and I think the bot won last time I looked, pretty sure, at a low score, so it's something to sort of give him back. It's quite funny that Hyrule was like, this is not compensation. It was like he sort of like get out of a claim, like, oh, you've compensated for this, you should compensate again. It's like, it is not compensation, but it is. Let's be honest, it is. But he was sort of putting out there that, you know, it's not compensation, so yeah, interesting. Then next in the newsletter is a survey on the 5-star bot. So as well, let me know in the chat which 5 stars you chose. So obviously, I chose Hound. Obviously, I chose Hound. Obviously, I chose Slingshot. Even though my Slingshot's at level 64, even now, a bit disappointed that it might get replaced as a 5-star, but I'm super pleased that a 5-star Slingshot would do well. I'm not sure, it depends on the balancing, if you can one-shot. If you can't one-shot, then there's no point, but that's to see, will it be 30% rather than 20%? I don't know, it'd be interesting for sure. We can maybe balance them a bit different, but in my opinion, I think they've gone too sort of safe. And a bit, I don't know, it's a bit strange. So they said that they don't want a 5-star cup. They said that in the stream today, that they don't want people just hitting the HQ. And I kind of understand that. I get that side of it, that they don't want something that overpowered. They can just take out the HQ, whatever. So, fair enough, fair enough. Said they didn't want a 5-star tracks. I kind of get that. I understand that a bit. But we still didn't have Sentius in that vote. We still didn't have Star Saber in that vote. But we've got Blur. I don't understand that. We've got Blur and Afterbreaker in there, but they're probably two of the most overpowered bots in the current meta, because it's the amazing sack bots with no counter. You can't counter Afterbreaker pretty much, and you can't counter Blur unless you specifically do a split base with all the outpost bots at the top, and even then it's difficult. You know, you're creating a whole base design around 2 bots because they're super powerful. MSN hasn't worked, let's be honest, and they're in there. So they're in there, but no Star Saber. I haven't seen a person use Star Saber in Prime League in forever. I can't remember. It might have been before HQ17 was released. It might have been HQ16 days. Sentius has been eradicated from Laser Optimus. I don't get it. Add them in. I don't understand why Sentius is not in there, but Laser Optimus is. And Laser Optimus does more damage than Sentius. I'm baffled. I really am. And I feel like there's a lot better bots that could have gone in there that wasn't. But on the positive side, I'm glad we're getting a 5-star bot soon, a 5-star batch, say. But then I think Dale said that Skids is not going to be in there. I was like, why? And he's like, because Giannis wants to bring them out more often. I was like, well, okay, so we've got, at the minute, we've got Twin Twist, we've got Skids, we've got Topspins. We've got 3 bots that need to go in there. At the end of this saga, we'll have a 4th bot. So if they bring a 5-star batch out, we'll be back to having 3 bots that need to go in a batch. And then by the time they bring out the next one, we'll have 4. And so we'll bring Skids into that one, but another 3 stuff. So how quick are they? If they want to catch up with these bots, it means they need to bring a 5-star batch out every single month for the next year. I think that's a bit unreasonable. So having two, you know, and having every 16 weeks a bot coming out, you know, a batch coming out, I think that's reasonable. You know, every 3 months a 5-star batch, even that's quite quick. You know, every 3 months a batch coming out. But to not put skids in there, it's a bit of a poor choice for me. It's still to be seen, but they've said they're not. I don't get it personally, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, still excited for this new 5-star batch. I've got loads of polls, and we'll have to wait and see, you know, how it gets balanced and how much time we've got. You know, going into Christmas, you know, the apes finish on the 16th, maybe a bit later than that. No, the 23rd, I think it is, around that time. So the apes sort of finish them. So we've got 2 weeks to sort of get HQ18 in, get it balanced. Any bugs, get them fixed. New 5-star batch. Ability 11, they said, will come. There's so much they've got to do in the next 2 weeks before Christmas. And my worry is that Christmas will come and we'll have bugs when they're not here. They're off for holidays, or, you know, for the Christmas holidays. So, but that's for us to sort of worry about, really. But hoping, fingers crossed, it can be out and decent and not bugged, hopefully. And the next thing is Cyber Pass Season 10. So I mentioned this in the last stream, and one positive change. I'm glad there's 5-star shards and combat shards in the past now, 750 of each rather than 1 and 1. So that's pretty good. I do like that. That hopefully now every single pass will get something of each. They have brought down the squad cooldown skips, which are alright, but you know, I'm sure I'd rather have the troop skip rather than that. So, but yeah, it's not too bad. We have got another combiner level though, so that is pretty decent. With combiners going to level 25, that's going to be really, really important. And again, we're going to look at that a bit later on. Yeah. As always, go and check out your content creators, guys. Go and check them out. Then we've got some cool artwork from some people in the community. And the Saga schedule, as you will see, so you've got the, you know, small event this week. We've got an 1 million point event next week. We've got some smaller events over Christmas, which I'm pleased. They did say they're going to do the Fort Max event, which everyone just lost their minds over. I mean, like, you can't do an event like that over Christmas. You just can't. And I was absolutely dumbfounded by the fact they even wanted to. Absolutely ridiculous. But glad it's coming next year now. But yeah, I believe this one here, maybe. I don't know. They've got to, I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna come now. I imagine 6th and 9th of Jan, maybe around there. But yeah, it will come later. And then we've got, like I said, 5-star shards there, 5-star shards there. And then the new bots come the end of Jan. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then bug fixes. So something I do need to stress. The following bug fix improvements will go live with over the next 2 weeks. So again, I've had people message me saying like, Drip Up's still not working. It's probably going to be the next content. So Metroplex Tripticon, the Titan Assault will probably change next week now, supposedly. Trip Up and Roller Force will be fixed next week. And Skids and Knockout are doing double damage. So if you've got this bot already, go and take advantage of it. It's doing crazy damage right now. Take advantage while you can. It's not going to be fixed till next week, supposedly. They're also working on resolving the build bots. This is another thing that's been broken for too long. And I really got annoyed when I told Dale. And he's like, yeah, but it's making it more challenging. People are liking it. Maybe we should leave it. You don't leave bugs in a game because it makes the game harder. Let's make it so that Jetfire and Prowl, all the bots do less ability damage. If it's a bug like that, let's leave it in. You can't leave bugs in a game. You can't. If you want, and again, I sort of really kicked off over this. I was like, listen, if you wanted it harder, you should have made it harder. But we wanted it harder, and the apes basically said, no, it needs to be easier for lower players. But then they're in the sort of camp of, let's make it harder. You can't sort of do that. You've laid your bed. You wanted it easier, now you gotta lie in it. You know, and people will complain that it is easier, and I agree. And I think the build bots leaving traces, it made it harder, and it was good for that difficulty, and I like that difficulty. But you can't have that as a bug. You need to put that in there in some way. I'm not a fan of the build bot leaving traces of ability reduction. There should be something else, personally. I've sort of talked about that in playtest. We'll see if it comes to fruition. But yeah, definitely needs addressing and changing. And then, yeah, we'll see as well, because come HQ18, they're going to change the war effects. So that's going to be interesting as well. And then Slingshot and Acid Storm, we're doing 0 damage against the HQ. Not a huge deal, because obviously there's damage reduction on the HQ anyway. But, you know, even I noticed that in leveling. I was trying to finish off the HQ sometimes, and it was doing nothing. So that will be fixed over the next week as well. No ETA on that. The build bot and the Slingshot, that hopefully will be fixed over the next week or so. But Metroplex, Strepticon, Trip Up, Roller First, and Skidder Knockout will be next Thursday when HQ18 drops. And that is it for the newsletter. So let's have a look at the chat and see what we've got in here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I've got to scroll right back, so bear with me. Let's have a look. But Dale, what heartburn medication do you take when several people are typing? We've seen that quite a bit over the last few weeks. I've had people going, "Oh no, Wozza dear," because I have been ranting a lot recently. Tyrus questions are amazing. So Chris Harmon voted for Drag Strip. That's good. Acid Storm, Spinister, all good votes. I agree with them. Good votes. Mitchell VF1J says 5-star Punch, a stroke counter Punch. He'd need a bit of rework, I think, though. Yeah, but still, I'd like to see Punch get a bit of a rework. Matt Pole is put Broadside, Mirage, Ironhide, and Punch. A lot of reworks there. Broadside, I love a 5-star Broad. I haven't got 4-star Broadside. I voted for 4-star bot with a choice of combat and bot, simply because I want a 4-star Broadside. So I would love 5-star Broadside. Absolutely love it. Super pleased. Chris Hammond's put Owen Runabout. Ooh, I'm not a fan of that vote. I get it, but he's already powerful anyway. He's already super powerful. I mean, like, Runabout and Blur. Crazy. Atari's put, it's time for Cup 5-star. So I think the reason behind this, so a bit of an insight. So I didn't know this. I was talking to a few cons in playtest, and they said that the new HQ core that I mentioned in my streams that's going to affect leveling was to target Cup specifically, because people are still backdooring quite easy. So I kind of get they don't want to do backdoors. But then what I don't understand is, but then we have Nightstick that goes out of range of the core. So surely we haven't addressed backdoor, because we could put Nightstick on Cup and Springer and still backdoor from range. And if anything, we've got it made it easier. So why does a 5-star Cup really matter? I don't know. I'm a bit baffled with that. To be honest with you, I don't get it. But you know, people are still going to backdoor. People are still clever. People will still find a way. So I don't know. Chip Cox has put Hound Nose Code. Ooh, Scatter Shot. Oh no. Streetwise, man. Rotor Storm. Yeah. Scatter Shot. Ooh. We'll come to that in soon. Actually, something I want to talk about there. Stinger's put Hound, Blur, Hoist, and Nose Cone. Nose Cone need a massive rework. Let's be honest. Massive. It's well overdue. That many wells. But yeah, I don't think they're up for it. I don't. Richard Trenders put Hound, Broadside, and Rotor Storm. I agree with them votes. Good votes. Penny Lancaster, Slingshot, Mirage. Maybe I've seen quite a few Mirages. I think it's still need a bit of a rework in a way. But yeah, I'd be interested in seeing a 5-star Mirage. We need some older bots like that coming back into the meta again. I like that. I do like that. I didn't vote for Mirage because I've sort of voted for bots that won't need a rework as much, because I don't think they'll have the time. But it's a good vote. Yeah. And then Hoist and Streetwise. So yeah, Streetwise is a bit interesting. But you got to think that people don't use them as a 4-star, and why? If people don't use them as a 4-star, then what are they going to do for the 5-star? We'll talk about that shortly as well. Anything else? Stay Puffs asks who's next to get the top shot treatment. I don't want to answer that. But you know, again, I've got my own sort of take on that, and I'll be talking to Dale about that on Sunday. So if you want to hear my take on that, come and join me on Sunday. We've already got a video out about Top Shot and Fireline. Are they still one of the best in the game? So go and check that Unpopular Opinion video out if you want to know. And we're talking more on Sunday about it. Who else? Just trying to catch up with some questions. Freeziest. Vote Acid Storm and Slingshot. I kind of agree. Yeah. Yeah, I get that, Chris Hammond. Yeah. So eventually, if Dead End's gotta come as a 5-star part, and they're going that way, we're still not 100% sure. He said they would, but if it's going that way, then we'll get a 5-star cup. So yeah, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. Joshua Eases put Slipstream. Slipstream is. Hang on. Who's Slipstream? No, I'm thinking a dive bomb. Who's Slipstream? Oh, that's Air Raid. Yeah. Yeah, it's good choice. Good choice. Bludgeon. Oh, I hate Ironhide. You know what? Before this game, I actually like Ironhide, and then since I played this game, I hate Ironhide because he's so bad. He's so bad. Kickback, same. I actually like Cliff Jumper before this game, and now I hate Cliff Jumper. It's like you have a persona about something, and it changes. So, quick funny story. I watched a comedian. So, he's a Manchester City supporter. And he played a game called Football Manager or Championship Manager. So, basically, it's like managing a football team. So, he chose Man City and he managed Man City. And he said, you know, he went to like an evening as a comedian, quite famous. So, he went to an evening where he was doing a stand-up show at City's ground for some, VIPs, and some of the players were there, and he's meeting all the players, and he's like, oh my god, I'm going to meet some of the players, like some of my idols. And he's like, oh, how you doing, and he came to one and went, like, sort of shook his hand a bit, and went, oh, Then after the gig, he sort of thought, like, why did I do that to him? Why was it quite rude to him? And he said, I remember that in the football game, he refused his contract and transferred out, so he hated him for it. But that's not even real life. You know what I mean? Like, this is nothing to do with a cartoon and Persona, but because of this game, I have hatred for some bots, like Cosmos. I hate Cosmos. I hate Mindwipe. I hate Cosmos. Done anything to me in the cartoon. They were decent characters, but no, hate it. Hate it in the game. And it's funny how the game sort of changed the persona of some bots because the bad or because you don't like them in some way. It's like Cup. It's changed the whole persona now for me, Crazy. Like Grimlock. Grimlock was my favourite bots before this game, and now he's like, he's alright. It's weird like that. Weird. Let's have a look. What else? Back from the stories. Yeah, a lot of people saying Air Raid, Dirt Bag. So yeah, a lot of good. I'm glad not everyone is voting for, Blur and Runabout. Let's get some, there's a lot of variety in there. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to look back and trying to see if there's any questions about HQ18. But I'm struggling to find them. So, apologies. If you have done a question about HQ18, then put it again in the chat and I will pick it up now. But let's have a look at HQ18. So for those that haven't seen already, there's going to be quite a few defense upgrades. There isn't going to be any new defenses yet. Yanni said there will be eventually, but there's not going to be any new defenses this time round. Not all the defenses have been upgraded, which is a good thing, and these will come over time. So yeah, I am pleased with that. I think that's a really, really good move. So apparently I think it will be in 3 stages maybe. So I imagine that they've got half the upgrades now, or most of them. We'll have some more upgrades at HQ. It's like 18.3 if you want to be technical. 18.3, which is a third of the way through, and then 18.6 or 7, what you want to call it. We'll probably get some new defenses then. So, going to be interesting, like I said. But I am glad that we've done the way they've done it. I do agree with that, with small increments. So it's not too much all at once. And you can sort of push the boundaries with them certain things as well. So, yeah, anyway. very good choice. So the upgrades at the minute are mortars. So mortars are going to end up with 8,760 health, 274 DPS. I think that's pretty much set in stone now. I think we can say that will be what it is. It's around 10k health come Prime League hard mode. So to give you an idea, we'll go into a battle and I'll sort of show you these things in a Prime League hard mode as well, so you can see. Launchers are going up to 7,920, so they'll be upgraded from what they were. So beam lasers aren't upgraded, so they'll still stay at 6,000 health. So you can see the difference. That's, you know, they got up by about 1,800 health. Launchers. Ignore the prime cores for now. Again, we'll talk about that shortly. Cannons have got an upgrade as well. Turrets haven't got an upgrade. Shoutouts haven't got an upgrade. MDS haven't. Billbots haven't. Shield Gen hasn't. Walls obviously been upgraded. And obviously resource buildings and obviously the HQ as well. So outposts, we've been given the outpost upgrades on the test server. I'm not 100% sure if they'll come with HQ18, but it's just a HP upgrade. It's not something ridiculous. Just goes up to 68%. Nothing. I think it's 63%. I think is it on live. So it's like a 5 or 3% upgrade on HP and same DPS. So nothing too crazy. Spider mines, no upgrade. There is an upgrade to mines, but it doesn't change anything in terms of the motion sensing mines. So if you do have the MSMs, it doesn't change much. So yeah, but yeah, cool. So yeah, plenty of upgrades. HP wise, dead quick. Cannons going up to 9,480, which is about 11k. Come hard mode. What else? I think that's it really, HP wise. Like I said, all the rest are still HQ17 sort of defenses. Obviously, resource builders will go up to 8,300 health, and obviously your Energon and Alloy will go up to 16 mil in terms of the maximum. So that's a good improvement as well. And resource buildings will go up to oh, we upgraded that one. That's why. There we go. And there we go. So I did see someone in the chat asking about how much that Energon is going to cost. Now, obviously, it's almost impossible to add these all up and say this. But there is a guy called Frostbolter. I'm sure quite a few of you know. He's really good at creating charts, and you know, you'll see. I will guarantee you will have seen one of his charts somewhere. It's like the guru of making charts with the game and stats. Really cool guy. Does a lot to sort of help people in that sort of sense. And I'm pretty sure he'll have a chart out of all the upgrade costs. You can sit through and add it all up. It is going to cost quite a bit, but like Yanis said, if you've got like 2.5, 3 mil of Zen Energon, then you should be fine. Because obviously, don't forget, guys, you can only upgrade 5 defenses at once. You're going to fly through that Zen when HQ18 drops. You are. Because you've got the building skips. I hope you have anyway. You've got the building skips, so you'll be using. You might use, what, 500k, 700k for them first 6 defenses or something, and then you will skip them, and then you'll need another 700k probably for the next lot. So get hoarding that Zen now, guys. I would even go as far as saying, if you're doing this weekend's event, if you've got a choice between going overboard past 10k and going to 35k and getting more Zen, go and get more Zen. You're gonna need it come HQ18 launch. That's my plan this weekend. I'm gonna get to 10k on the first day or so, and then hit Zen on Sunday. Just smash out Zen and really go to town on it. I may even do it over the weekend in between battles, maybe, because 10k is quite easy to get. Let's be honest. But yeah, that is my plan. Zen. You're gonna need it. But yeah, pretty cool. What else? What else to go through? So prime cores. So let's look at the prime cores in the thing first. If we can find the thing, there it is. Prime core lab. That's the attack prime cores. That's why. Noob. Try again. So prime cores, so you can see there, ignore that I've got multiple. It's an error on the test. They're going to take them away. there won't be multiple. Just to make sure everyone realizes that you won't be able to get 2 Megatronus or 2 Micronus. It's not possible. It's an error on the test. I can't say that enough. Before people start going screenshots going, oh my god, we're going to have 4 Micronus on defense. No, we're not, guys. No, we're not. Okay, so first off is Alchemist. So all of your attacks heal you for 12.5% of your damage. Done. So obviously this doesn't heal until that defense is actually doing damage. So obviously a healing core. It's going to be interesting. Best to put on high damage defense. But yeah, that's how it's going to work. Micronus is the big one. So restores 12.5% health to all nearby allies every 5 seconds. This has been a big sort of stumbling block for me with the amount of healing, and I talked about this a bit in playtest, saying that, you know, we have a minute with current war effects, we've got the MDS, which are, you know, really powerful, then we've got the shield gen that people use to protect that, then we've got build bots that can protect that, and people sometimes use healing build bots. So we've got the MDS with extra health for hard mode, we've got the shield gen, we've got build bots to protect it, and then healing. Adding Micronus on top of that, adding self-repair cores as well on the MDS. There's so much healing and protection around there. It's almost like they're invincible, these MDS. And that's the worry about on the balancing for me. Is I think it brought too much healing out at the minute. So I think we need to sort of change the war effects for HQ18. But we've not even tested war effects yet. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think these are all going to be in. And the H said that Prime cores are probably going to be at about 7,500 for each. So I think most people will have 1 or 2 of these, maybe 3. But it's going to be a case of if you get Micronus, then that's sort of the jackpot, really. I think that personally. I think Micronus is absolutely overpowered to hell. But again, we'll look at the range, things like that shortly. Then we've got the age. So nearby bots are hacked for 8.5 seconds. Obviously, this is at level 15. And yeah, and obviously the liaison mix, so whatever defense you put it on cannot be hacked. So 8 seconds is obviously quite long. So yeah, another decent core. Negatronus, so nearby foes receive 80% of your DPS. So whatever your defense's DPS is, you get 80% of that in an area. And again, we'll look at the sort of area of effect soon. And this is probably one of the most interesting ones that's going to be, I can tell you right now how it's going to be used. So Amalgam's Prime, so increases your outpost bots' move and attack speed by 15% and restores 7.5% of their health every 5 seconds. So this makes outpost bots crazy hard to kill, because not only do they get an attack speed increase, they also receive like a rejuve core for 7.5% every 5 seconds. So Amalgamous core only works when it's on the field. So if you destroy whatever defense has the Amalgamous core and then pop the outposts, then the outposts will do 15% extra attack speed and 7.5% health. If you destroy the core, they don't do that. If the core is still active on the base, they will do that. So basically, what you need to do is the Amalgamous Prime core needs to be behind the HQ. Put it behind the HQ, put it way out of range, and then obviously your outpost bots and will get the benefit of that. And yeah, it's going to be interesting as well. People might start targeting that if you do a sack. Going to be interesting for sure, like I said. But yeah, it does make outpost bots a lot harder to destroy. So yeah. Okay, let's have a look at any questions before we go on. So yeah, Chris Hammond obviously asked about how much their energon costs. Like I said, I'm sure Frostbot will bring a thing out. But yeah, I do agree on the 7,500. It should be less, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look. Atari, how does trophies work? So we haven't done anything around trophies. I mean, aren't you in playtest? Just realised that. But yeah, I think they do need to work something out around medals, because it's not good getting like 1 medal per attack. It's not great, is it? Volcanica, so how are the new defenses Prime cores? So yeah, difficult. I'm not going to lie, they are difficult. For me, I think they should be at HQ18 only. They shouldn't be a HQ17. But I get they don't want to make them exclusive. But it's going to make HQ17 zones harder for Cup. So is it going to make Zone 14 harder? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But yeah. Ronald Van Holland's we need a bigger map. Maybe that's where they're sort of going with it. Doing all these things behind the scenes so they can do things like that, because they talk a lot about they can't do X because of the you know, the things they use in the game, the tools they use. So I think they're sort of rewriting that. So yeah. How much health on walls? So walls have had a massive jump. So walls are jumping to 39,490. And when some people saw that in testing, they're like, whoa, that's a big jump. But you've got to think that you've got the more bots that do more damage to walls. And walls were sort of, at HQ17, Yanis sort of self-admitted that he was trying to reduce, you know, timeouts with walls and left them at a lower level and made them very easy to kill. And so now they sort of brought them back in line again. And I'm kind of glad, because at HQ17, walls, I always say walls are like paper. And they pretty much were. They are very much, you know, in terms of, they were used for pathing. They were not used to protect things. And you know, walls needed a buff. Let's be honest, they needed something. But testers have tested this, and the big sort of thing right now is they're asking, you know, we've had a few timeouts in some aspects around, you know, strong combiners and strong bots and things like that. And so that's what we're currently at in terms of balancing right now, is the time that it takes. And we're sort of questioning, do we increase the time per battle? Do we increase the starting ability points? I think the maximum ability points has gone up to 46, the maximum you can get. So I think that has gone up. I'm pretty sure it's 46, might be a bit different now. Don't quote me on that, but I think it has gone up though, definitely. But yeah, that's sort of question we're asking at the minute. Is that, you know, so I timed out on the commander in our war. I'm not going to, you know, be ashamed of that. But I put it down to chip up. I put him in my team thinking it might work, and he wasn't working. So maybe I put a different combat in there, it might actually work. But yeah, you know, I've tried with my sort of team that I run on global at level 67, and I fly through bases pretty much. There's a lot of HP in there, guys, and people are going to time out. So think about ways where you can add more DPS into your team. Are you going to drop a healer go from 2 to 1 rather than 2? So yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure, like I said. But yeah, but I like it like that. I like it that it is quite hard, because it frees us up to make bots better. If HQ18 was easier, then we'd be very cautious on creating new bots. We don't make it overpowered. But when the difficulty does get ramped up like that, it gives us a bit of freedom to buff bots and make some better, improve combiners. It gives us freedom to sort of increase things and make things better. So yeah, I'm pleased the way it's going, but there's still a bit of balancing in terms of the time it takes to get through the base. And I doubt we're going to change the HP of the buildings, so it's probably going to be the timer or the ability points that's going to change, but that's yet to be seen. But we'll keep you updated. What else? And Penny Lancaster has put, oh my god, like the MDS weren't a problem already with healing. How can you add Amalgamus to it? But don't forget, Amalgamus doesn't affect that defense, it affects your bots. Not that actual defense. But like I said to Fabian, this is why anti-healing is good, and we're going to talk about that again shortly. It's not all doom and gloom. Go for HQ18 first, and then I'm going to talk about some things that happen in the background, which is going to be exciting. Calvin's asked, will there be an ability to put cores on the shield generators? I doubt it. It does a good job. We don't need any cores on it, really. But you never know. Never say never. So, yeah. There you go. And Luke's just put, they could always bring out a bot that stops or reduce healing in an area. Watch this space. Let's have a look. Am I allowed to show the prime course that's at level 20? I think they're going to just 15 for now. That's what we're talking about in test. I think so. And I think they'll increase it to 20 at a later date. I could be wrong about that. But I don't want to sort of show too many stats to level 20. You got to think as well that we're testing these bases, so I don't want to raise my course to level 20 And then I'm sort of stuck with them at 20 for the for testing. So I'm gonna keep it 15 for now. But if that changes, I will let you guys know. Yannis said a question that zone 14 and 15 will become easier. Yeah, well, I understand what he means by that. So it means that zone 15 will be easier because now all the max bases will move into 16. So 15 will be, you'll have level 67 bots supposedly against HQ17s. So yeah, it will become easier because the HQ18s will move into 16. But you'll have HQ17s with prime cores. So it will be harder than what it is right now. But you'll have level 67 bots. So it'll be easier in that sense. But when HQ18 hits, if everyone moves up, then you won't have level 67 bots. Well, you might have to do the XP. This is the sort of balance you got to think about. It's all a bit up in the air, really. I don't think you can say it'll be easier. I don't think you can say it's definitely be harder. It depends how much the prime cores impact on them bases. That's the big sort of deciding point, really. But yeah, again, I'll have to wait and see. Do you know which 30 bot? 30? Vincent, where have you got 30 from? I don't know where you got 30 from. 30 bots. I've not heard about 30 of them. I don't think so. What do you think about they're going to cost 7,500 prime core shards? I'd obviously prefer to be 5,000. Obviously, I don't. It depends if they're going to do more prime core events around 7,500. They might do prime core events about 75,000. Or 7,500, sorry, for 35k, and I kind of understand that. You can get 5k at a certain point, and you can push for more. It depends. So they sort of talked today about shards, and I totally disagree with what they're saying. I understand their viewpoint, and is yet to be decided. So we all know that the economy is really tight around certain things, and when they brought out shards, 7,500 for a 4-star bot was scandalous. We all said that is ridiculous because for free-to-play players, it was so difficult to get. When they brought out the 5-star Omega part, we said it was scandalous. And then they increased 5-star shards. But the point is they've already increased character shards to double in bundles and in crystals. And they said, yeah, we'll be giving prems away. Okay, so if I go and buy a slingshot bundle, I get double the shards. You know what? For me to rank up slingshot as someone who buys slingshot bundles, yes, it will be easier for me to level up slingshot. Granted. But if I'm a free-to-play player and I'm opening prems, I could get one of 100 bots every prem. So let's just say, for argument's sake, I open 100 prems and I get one of every single bot in the game. That's not going to happen, let's be honest. But let's just say I get one of every single bot, because I might get 3 of one bot, but it might be Sludge and Straxus who I don't use, and I want Mirage. So I might get 1 Mirage, I might get none, I might get 3, but there's no guarantee. But let's say over an average you get 1 within every 100 crystals you open, 100 prems. So how long is it going to take for you to get 20k character shards? 20k, right? How long does it take most people free to play to get 3,000 character shards? To get 5,000? Most people around free to play have got about 3,000 to 5,000 character shards, and they've been free to play for 2 years. So how does Space Ape expect them to get 5 times that in maybe the next 2 years? They haven't made character shards 5 times more, and they said yes, but we're gonna bring in skips so you can get ranks. But how are they going to do that? Is it going to be an event? I don't think so. Is it going to be in the battle pass? Probably. Will let you have just one in there? Probably. And it's probably going to be in the paid version. So if you're totally free to play, it's going to be really, really hard to get these ranks. But on the other side of that, he did say that these shards, these character shard upgrades, these rank upgrades, are not for everyone. It's for the guys at the top of the game to compete in Prime League hard mode. And if that is the case, I understand why they're making it difficult. I don't agree with sort of alienating free to play. I don't agree with that. But I understand if that's the decision they're making, then I understand why they've done it. And it's same with Prime League Hard Mode. I don't agree. I think Prime League Hard Mode should be harder. I've always said that. It's at the top level of the game for the top players. Now, Yanis came in the chat and said that Prime League Hard Mode is not for the top players. It's just for the decent players in the game. Not for the top 3%, whatever, top 5% like myself. They won't be challenged by it, really. So, what I don't understand is, if Prime League Hard Mode is not targeted at the top 3 or 5% players in the game, maybe it's targeted by, because from there, they've targeted for the top 20%, say. Just the Prime League Hard Mode players. That's what Prime League Hard Mode is geared towards. So then why are character shards and ranks not geared to the top 20%, but more geared towards top 5%? For me, it's a bit of a contradiction that you don't want Prime League Hard Mode to be super hard. You want it to be quite easy, but then the shards that you probably need to compete at Prime League Hard Mode are super hard. No, listen, if Prime League Hard Mode was super hard and you needed ranks to do that, I'd kind of understand and agree with them. I'd be like, you know what, yeah, guys, listen, this is not a feature for free-to-play guys. This is not a feature for the for the HQ18 guys or the Gold League player. This is for the top guys in the game to complete at this level because it is difficult. But it's not difficult. It's not difficult. That's what they've said. It's not geared towards top guys, so why gear this towards the top players? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And they said that, yeah, you'll be rank 2 in no time. Yeah, but 20k shards for 2 ranks, if you judge it by 5k and 15k, then rank 3 is going to be what? 20k minimum. So that's 40k for rank 3. It's going to be 60k for rank 4 and 100k for rank 5. Something absolutely ridiculous. Even if we said we reduced to 50k shards for all 5 ranks, 50k shards is absolutely scandalous. Ridiculous. I would never have 50k shards. And like, I've said from day one, we should have universal shards. Now, if they are bringing universal shards in, I'm all for it. I'm all for that, because you know what? You get universal shards and you can pick and choose your bot. And if you're getting universal shards in a battle pass and events, brilliant. That is the solution to this, because then you can pick and choose. And I've always said you should be able to have everything. You can't then complain that you're leveling up one bot, and in this event there's 5 and the 5th one is at 20k or 30k and you can't get to 30k. Well, you need to if you want it. That's my sort of viewpoint. You get what you put in. If there's going to be universal shards, fair enough, but they can't put like Mirage shards in and Ironhide shards in, because not everyone wants Mirage. Not everyone wants Ironhide. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I'm hoping they've not said anything in playtest. Nothing's come out. I really do hope they're going to do universal shards. And that's going to be the next big thing that personally I'm going to sort of push for the Apes. If they keep the cost as it is, that's going to be the next big thing, I think, that I'm going to challenge them for. But we'll see. Let's see, Portal's put the award character shards some kind of skill. It's quite hard to do that though, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's going to be quite hard. But yeah, I know you're getting with it, but yeah. Yep. You need to give free-to-play an option to grind out slowly. Dale said it all in the chat that free-to-play should always be available at a later date and slower to get than spending, and that's what I'm 100% behind. But this is out of reach, these shards, let's be honest. Is that a bad idea? Do 3 battles with nose cones like a thing? You mean like the battle pass in terms of like a challenge? I don't think it'd be that. I think it'll literally be in the battle pass. So when you buy it, you got the troop skips, thing like that. There'll be a rank skip, I think. Yeah. When I've had Holland, no one wants Ironhide. Well, people want a 5-star Ironhide, so someone does. Yeah, Vincent Lee's put class shards are fine, character shards are killer. I think the class shards need putting up, honestly. I think class shards need putting up and character shards down, because I get loads of class shards. I've got loads already. I've got enough to rank up bots to level 20 or level 2, whatever it is already. But the character shards, no chance. What else? Kill Cannon, thanks for joining the stream. Illicit posters, but they want you to buy $100 bundles over and over. I'm not too sure of that. I don't know what plans they've got, but I think it's just, I don't know. In terms of the economy, I understand it, but yeah. Cool. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is, so behind the scenes, we've been talking about some buffs to some bots. Now again, nothing is finalized, but not bots, but cost changes, and this is sort of the bots that we've sort of got currently, sort of. So Brainstorm and Skyhawk are currently being reviewed. Not the cost at the minute. I'm still pushing for a cost change. I still think it needs to be reduced, but there are some changes hopefully coming for Brainstorm and Skyhawk. Cliff Jumper and Kickback, looking for a cost reduction. Trailbreaker and Exhaust, Cosmos and Mindwipe. Snapdragon's gonna get a bit of a buff, hopefully, looking at it. Hound Vamp and Soundwave Hiss are going to get a decrease in cost, and Inferno and Rodimus Unicronus. That is the idea behind it. Now, like I said, Brainstorm and Skyhawk, Cosmos and Mindwipe, Brainstorm and Skywalk and Snapdragon are all getting kind of buffs in a way. Nothing too ridiculous, nothing crazy, but kind of buffs. But I still think it's not enough. I still think Snapdragon needs more of a buff than what he has already. I still think Brainstorm needs a cost reduction. But it's interesting. It is interesting what they've chosen to do with them guys. And like I said, Cliff Jumper and Kickback, Trailbreaker and Exhaust, Cosmos and Mindwipe, Hound Vamp and Soundwave Hiss, and Inferno and Rodimus Unicronus are all getting a cost reduction. So all them bots are going to be more viable in some way. And that's the idea, to sort of bring these guys back into the meta in some way. I think that some of them still need a bit of a buff. Cosmos and Mindwipe especially. I mean, in this base, I sort of used Cosmos, hacked a cannon, and he did literally nothing. Even with velocity shells on, he actually did hardly anything. So it needs to increase the damage, a bit like Perceptor does. But yeah, with all the healing as well in the game, it definitely needs something else. So again, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, definitely they are looking at it. They're also looking at Double Dealer at a cost reduction, and I believe a bit of a buff as well. So yeah, I'm glad Double Dealer's getting a buff. I'm currently working on that a bit. Again, so my main focus is there are the bots that I sort of use, or the bots that I know of that I'd like to use, which is Brainstorm and Skyhawk. I still think they need a cost reduction, like I said. I think the Double Dealer needs more of a buff than what he's getting. He has had a cost reduction, quite considerable as well, but not quite Skylink's level, I don't think, maybe. But I've got to do more testing. I've only been testing today, so more testing needed. And Snapdragon, like I said, more around his health and DPS, so going to be interesting for sure. But again, looking forward to those improvements coming. I'm just scrolling as well because there's another announcement as well that Fabian said. So they're also looking at the possibility of making acid and fire totally separate. So at the minute, acid and fire both act the same, but they're trying to separate it. And I'm just trying to find out this. I don't want to get it wrong. So the idea is that they want targets under acid to receive no healing. That's what they want to do. So any target that's covered in acid will not heal. And that kind of makes sense in terms of like a real life thing. You know, acid burns, so why should it heal? Sort of like healing acid. So I kind of get that. And targets also under acid will get 20% more fire damage. That's the idea around combos. So we'll talk about this in playtest, not with the apes, but between ourselves. We were saying, like, you know, why can we not have targets under electrical damage take more from fire, more Targets under from fire take more from acid. Targets under acid take more from slowdown. So it might be electrical and slowdown. So if it's under an electrical stun, then they take more damage from bots under speed up. I don't know exactly how it will work, but we're sort of talking about, like, you know, comboing effects like that around speed up and speed down, slow down, and electrical and fire and even wind maybe. I don't know. There's just all these sort of things are in the air. What we're talking about in playtest. I sort of touched about it on my last stream. I think they are kind of going this way. I do. And so look at the acid effects. You're talking Skydive and Skywalk, Pipes and Headstrong, Scattershot and Leozak, Skids and Knockout, Viper and Double Dealer. So they're the bots that currently sort of do acid, where this will sort of work with. So the fact that Double Dealer's been at a cost reduction and now it reduces healing and that does more damage with fire, it's going to be quite interesting to see how Double Dealer sort of fits in. I've done some testing with him. I wouldn't say I was impressed, but I'd like to see what a 5-star does. Put it that way. Bit interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that coming to the game, and let me know what you guys think of that in the chat. But yeah, will it bring acid bots back into the meta again? You know, it is damage over time, so you know, if they're not getting healing, then it does make it a bit more viable. I'd like to see this for fire as well, personally. Bots under fire don't receive healing, maybe, because you know there's a lot of fire damage and slow burn, you know, like the likes of Sunstreaker and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. This, I do like the change. So yeah, interesting. And then back onto HQ18. So we've obviously got the new anti-healing cores. So hold your noses. This is the range of the ray blockers, which cuts out all healing. So yeah, crazy powerful, really good cores, and gives another option. So I like this now. I think we're sort of at saturation point, because we've got the anti-heal cores, which are really good. We've got the FFD, really good. We've got the lightning rods that are really good. Even the healing cores are half decent. With the amount of healing in there as well, it's going to be interesting to see people's choices now. You know, with the FFDs, everyone was doing sort of like 2 FFDs, 2 lightning rods. But now with the you know, ray blockers, it's going to be interesting. And bots that can take out multiple build bots at once are going to be vital, I think, for HQ18. So you know, likes of Skids and Warpath are going to be really good bots for HQ18, I think. So it's going to be interesting for sure. And I can see already some people in the chat are going, that is ridiculous range, that is crazy. But it's the same as the FFD, and people still use tracks now. Take it out, crack on. But then what if people are running FFD and ray blockers? You got to take more of them out. For me, ray blockers and the lightning rods are killers for me. If you run FFD on your base, it does not bother me one bit. Even the healing cores don't bother me really. You know, but for me, ray blockers and lightning rods are the big killers. So for me, I'm already considering going away. I'm going to take out the ray blockers regardless, because I'm not stopping healers. But can I incorporate new bots that don't incorporate electrical damage? That's the big question. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these new cores work. You know, definitely kills your bots a lot faster with the you know, anti-healing. But yeah. I'm looking forward to it, like I said. The new Fire Dome cores, though, have been scrapped. They've got rid of the Fire Dome core, because I sort of argued the case that, you know, there's already fire reduction as it is. We don't need more fire reduction. It's not fair that we sort of keep killing fire bots. And you've got the likes of Sunstreaker and bots like that that do fire damage over time. And then we're sort of reducing it with tech tree points and reducing it with cores. We're just sort of killing fire bots. And now with this buff, I think Fabian's sort of seen, well, yeah, I kind of agree. And they are looking at the current tech tree and sort of changing it. Now, they have made some changes to the test server tech tree in terms of fire damage and electrical damage. Because it's not fair that it sort of double stacks, really, with the lightning rods. So, I'm not going to announce what changes they made. I don't agree with it. And I've argued the case. They are decent changes, but I don't agree with it. Again, it's like doubling up, really. So I've sort of said to Fabian that I don't agree with this at all. It needs changing. So I don't want to announce anything too early if it might change. So hold this space, but it looks like the anti-fire and the anti-electrical damage on the tech tree is going to be removed. So that's a positive move. I do like that. I like that move. Really behind that. But it's what they replace it with. That's the big question. So we'll see in time. Matt Polish, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about not running healers. That's the thing, you see. So if you don't run healers and people use raid blockers, win-win. You might really need tracks for the FFD. Kill the FFD. And this is the point I said about these build bots. So the more build bots we have, the more we can choose what to defend against. Not everyone will choose raid blockers. Not everyone will choose lightning rod. Not everyone will choose FFD. People will choose different things. And that's where, you know, base design comes into it, you know, on what we will choose. So I'm really excited for these new build bot cores. I think we're at maybe saturation point, maybe one more at push, but I think we're at saturation point now. But I like this where you can make your base bespoke to defend against things. I've always said this for years now, that I should be able to choose to defend against X. So, and I still don't think we're in a place where we can defend against SAC. And I know people think that I just hate SAC. It's not that I hate SAC. It's that even since Goldfire days, we've never been able to build a base that goes, you cannot sack my base. You can. This one design, you cannot sack my base. But with these raid blockers now, if you don't take them out, you can't walk that base. You're not walking that base with raid blockers intact. You've got to take them out. You've got to. So we have some counters. It just makes it more difficult. It makes it more difficult. And the MSMs do make Goldfire more difficult and Rhinox, but we've got Blur. The MSM do not make Blur harder. There's nothing in this game that you can design the base and say this has made it an anti-blur base maybe. And you could probably do what I've done there to stop Blur from sort of sacking it. I mean, you can get from the build bots upwards maybe, but then you can just use Cup really easily. It's impossible to sort of stop sack. And you can say it's impossible to stop walking, but if you have 5 build bot cores of anti-healing, and that's pretty much an anti-healer base, walking base, you know, you'd probably have to sack it instead. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having to sack bases rather than walk them. But, you know, I just think we need more options. The MSN's failed. Let's be honest. It's not done what it was designed to do, prevent sack. And to bring out the MSN and then bring out a bot that counters that, it is just nonsensical for me. It makes no sense at all. Why bring out a counter if you're going to bring out a bot that counters that counter? That's nonsensical. So, yeah, raid blocker cores, like I said, in. Fire Dome cores out. So yeah, could be interesting. Atari Buildbot Wars. But yeah. Okay, cool. And next, last thing we're going to touch upon is combiners. So the apes are going to buff all the combiners as getting level 25, but they're also going to make some buffs as well. So I do have a list of the buffs that are coming as well. I think these are pretty much set now. I could be wrong, but I think they're pretty much set. So 3-star combiners will be able to upgrade to level 20. So if you have a 3-star combiner at level 10, they will go to level 20 now, which is pretty cool. And 4-star combiners obviously to level 25. They've also reduced the time it takes to upgrade the combiners, but level 20 to 25 will still be a week. It'll still be a week regardless, but before that it is reduced. I'm not 100% sure on the timers yet. Fabian put a chart in the chat of how many minutes it will be, but obviously I've got to work that out into hours and I didn't have the time to work it out. But I'll try and post it in my Discord. If that is final, I'll ask them. And yeah, you'll have an idea of the upgrade times. But it is being reduced anyway, which is good. They've also increased the health of combiners by 25%. Every single combiner, including Omega. They've all got a 25% HP increase. And the idea of this is to improve their survivability with HQ18. So yeah, this is going to be help with Zen farming. It's going to help with everything else. Hopefully we can Zen farm in a higher zone, which gets you more Zen, which helps with HQ18. So really good move, really positive move. I'm really pleased with this. But then obviously you've got to think that that changes the combiner outpost, means you have more HP. But they have reduced the combiner outpost to 40% from 50. So that means that combiners on attack will be more powerful, but combiners on defense will probably be around the same. So not too much difference. So again, another good move from the apes. So they're also going to buff some of the older combiners. So they're not going to buff Devastator and Superior because they got a buff last. They were the last combiners, I think, to be buffed. And so they're going to focus on the other ones. So yes, finally, Optimus, Maximus, and Bruticus are going to get a buff finally. And they are to getting the biggest buff of the lot. So Optimus, Maximus, and Bruticus are going to get an increased 2-star ability damage. The 3-star ability now offers 80% protection, which means they stay alive even longer. And the 4-star ability has been increased in damage. And we're going to have a look at Optimus Maximus in the stream. Now, obviously, once I activate him, it's going to take 15 minutes to use him, so we can't look at all the combiners that have been buffed. But I am going to do a video on these guys with an idea of the buffs, and you guys can check that out over the next week. I'll probably, on Monday's stream, sort of go through these combiners one by one. We sort of play test them and get your opinions on it. So you can join me on Monday and we'll have a look at them. But yeah. And then Volcanicus and Predaking. So the 4-star ability Meteor is now going to be direct damage. So it won't be damage over time. It will hit and do damage instantly, which is a great move. And the Jump Sword is going to deal damage to more targets rather than just the small line it currently does. So a really positive move again for Volcanicus and Predaking. Really cool. And then Victorian and Menasor are the next ones to get a buff. So they've increased the rush damage when they rush to target, and increased the range so they can get further in the map, which is pretty cool. And they've also increased the consistency of the wide base EMP. So the wide base EMP will do a base wide EMP. It will stun everything. So I've not tested this yet along with the lightning rod cores. But again, that could be a interesting change. We will have to wait and see if that will work with them. But again, some great changes to combiners. And they are making a lot of positive changes around HQ18. Really pleased around these. But they have got to address these bugs foremost. Definitely. That is the biggest thing for me at the minute. So I'll look at the chat. So yeah, Freezer's Max put more Billbot cores will dilute defense in my opinion. Too many options. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that maybe one more. I think one more after this will be a positive change, and that'll be enough then. Just one. So with the Fire Dome, I thought it was enough, but they scrapped that. So something different than Fire Dome, and that'd be interesting. So yeah, definitely. Matt Paul has put Optimus not as Craptimus. We're going to have a look in a minute anyway. We're going to see him live. Because he's had the biggest buffs. I think it's important that we see him more, really. Atari Omega will need a major buff. I don't think so. I don't think he will. I think that because he stays alive longer, then you use more abilities. So it means it does more damage. So yeah. Fox Bob's asking, decide on yet on bot or combat. I presume bot. I think you can look at Discord and the vote's still there, but I'm pretty sure it was like 5-1. There was like 700 votes for bot and like 200 or 150 for combat. So I'm pretty sure I decided on bot, unless there's been a massive influx in combat all of a sudden, but I doubt it. And Chip Cox has put, hopefully the non-dupe 4-star next week gives me 4-star Streetwise or 4-star Scattershot so I can get 4-star Competent or Defensor finally. Hope so, bud. Hope so. Okay. Let's do a bit of bass trial. Let's turn the volume on. So first, actually, before we do that, let's have a look at the combiner's new health. So, hold your noses. So Superior will be at 94,500 health and 860 damage. Victorian 91,000, so still one of the weaker combiners, but 930 damage. Skyrain will get a buff to 93,000 at level 25. Volcanicus 96,885. Omega Supreme 100,625 health. Scandalous. Magnaboss 93,000 health and 1,000 damage. And then Computron 95,500 and 1,000 damage. And then Defensor Otus Maximus 108,750 damage. Health, crazy. Defensor 115,000 health. 25% increase is going to be absolutely crazy for these combiners. Hopefully they last a lot longer. And like I said, with the 40% now in the outpost, that shouldn't change these guys too much. But this is like I said, a welcome change. Really cool. So let's have a look at Optimus Not So Crapimus in battle. So we'll go on normal for now. We won't take him. I'll put Prime League on. Actually, I should have put Prime League on. I'll start it again, just so you can see what it's going to be like in Cyber. Obviously, we don't want to, do Prime League or anything like that. Let's just see what these level 25 combiners are going to be like in Cyber. Chip Cox has put Smokescreen needs to be hitting the gyms to take these guys out. But don't forget, on defense, they're going to be pretty similar. Defense has been decreased to 40%. I can't show you now, but yeah. Oh, I'll actually show them. Yeah, we can actually see the prime cores in effect. So you can see there that the Micronus prime core, you can see the sort of area of effect. So you're talking like 2 defenses wide. Very similar to Megatronus. It's about 2 defenses wide, so we'll end around here. And then you can say the same for Liege. So it's not dependent on the defense it's put on. You can see there. Amalgamus, I think, is up here, up there. So again, you can see put Amalgamus right at the back of the map, so it affects my outpost bots. And Alchemist is not on defense, but you get the idea of the range. So it's talking like 2 defenses, so it'll heal any defenses within 2 defense range. So yeah. Okay, Optimus Maximus. And I'll give you my impressions, because I haven't done much testing with Combine, I'm not going to lie. Using the forced out ability, again, this is against the HQ18, so bear that in mind. I'll try and hit the beanless, I'll give you an idea, because that's a HQ17 defense, so give you an idea. And that's done nothing, so I think that needs changing. But you see there, again, this ability, I'm not too pleased or displeased with this ability. It's okay, it's not bad. But the big one for me is this one. The 3-star ability now kills max walls in close proximity. Absolutely crazy. I think this guy is going to be amazing for time traps, things like that. I think he doesn't die very quickly, so it will be interesting. But in terms of destroying walls, and you see his health is going down so slow. We can see there, this is again, this is in Cyber, but he's took a good chunk out there. I think the forced out ability is not doing enough damage, could do more still, but he's eliminated them walls, took a big chunk out the base, and yeah, I think it's pretty good. I would actually use him in walls now, and that's saying much. I think I would use him against any base with heavy walls, where it's time traps and things like that. So going to be interesting, and some people recently in wars have been using low health combiners so that they can negate combiners attacks, well, like Lyozak or Comptrop, but not time out because they die quite quickly. And I'd actually be inclined not to use this guy's 3-star ability to keep him alive, but to use just the 2-star ability. So we'll see if we can do that. Let's see if we can do it. So let's put over here. So imagine we're trying to break through the walls, get through this time trap a bit quicker. So we took a good 2/3 of health off that that one there. Let's stun these defenses now, so we don't take as much damage. Let's try not to use this ability at all. Cut through them walls there. You can see the closer he is, the more sort of damage he does. It's done decent damage to walls there. He's done actually not too bad. Oops, drop the box now. That damage to walls is pretty good. I know a lot of people in tests talk about Sludge as well and whether it's effective or not. But if you match Sludge with this guy, I mean, Sludge can't one-shot without a wall buster in HQ18. But if you add Sludge to this guy, then you are going to go through, without a doubt.
One shall stand, one shall...
Hey Thomas, welcome to the stream, buddy. Okay, let's go. So what's your thinking, Optimus Maximus? I think he needs more range still. I think his abilities need more range. And I still think the 4-star ability needs more damage. Is it? Ah, I just thought. It's because of the lightning rod core. So it's doing less damage. Let's try again, that lightning rod. I've just realised, I thought, it's not doing any damage at all. Let's get rid of them lightning rods. Let's give it a real test without the lightning rods. That's not too fair, is it? Let's put them up there. Let's go again. That's interesting to remember that, you know, lightning rod negates the ability, so, yeah. Take out lightning rod cores first before you use him. Yeah, I like the fact that they're making these combiners more viable because there's some people that haven't got all the best combiners. You know, they've only got what they've got and that's it. Four-star ability, let's have a look at it now without the lightning rod core. Nah, it still needs a buff. This ability is pretty good. This ability, look, clears a good area, look. I like that. That ability is good. Look at that. Take them walls out. Boom. Look, we've got a path through the walls now. Trying to get the shield gen. Goodbye, shield gen. I like that. I mean, obviously they're going to heal back again, but look at that. That's pretty impressive. You can't say you're not impressed with that. I think the 4-star ability still needs more. It's level 25, don't get me wrong. But I think this guy's pretty impressive. I actually level this guy instead of Skyrain. Am I losing my head? But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So like I said, join me on Monday and I will go through, I'll give as many combiners as I can, a bit of a play test on Monday's stream. So join me on Monday. But super pleased. Penny Lancaster's put my max scale in is very impressive. Yeah, he was. He was good in testing, he was. But I'm more impressed with that guy. That guy's pretty impressive. And I still think the 4-star ability needs more damage, even then. So yeah. But yeah, you got to think as well that guy's going to be in Outpost maybe with all that health as well and all that damage in an Outpost. It's going to be very interesting. And for those that are eagle-eyed, I think you can probably see that it's 23 days. That is not coming to live, guys. That is just for testers, so we can actually make sure our combiner to charge. Because they were putting in the chat, oh, can we start a war? Charge up. And we're all like, oh, I was at work. I was busy. I didn't see the message. So now we can charge for a whole month. So when they do start wars, we're ready to go. But that is not coming to live, sadly. Just to keep you informed, guys. But yeah, that is it for today's stream. So I hope I've answered any questions about HQ18 that I can. As always, you're welcome to tag me in my Discord. If you've got any more questions, then I will do my best. And if I don't have the answers, I will pass it on to the 8s. But yes, listen, a lot of positive things coming. A lot of positive things. But stay safe. If you are watching this, please get a grip of these bugs. That is the big thing at the minute that's knocking this community back. And again, we're going to be talking with Dale more about it on Sunday. So tune into the stream on Sunday. We're doing loads of streams. Tune into the stream on Monday. Tune into the stream next Thursday. Videos coming in between. We've got the new series of Unpopular Opinions, so plenty of content coming. Obviously, we're going to be covering everything HQ18 next year, going over our old content of rating bots again with text. We're going to have new people on the stream as well. Super pleased. Loads to come, guys. And the only way you're going to stay informed, the only way you're going to know all this when this content is coming, is to hit that subscribe button. Plain and simple. Doesn't cost you a penny, guys. Just get your notifications when I'm live, so you can come and join the stream, come and chat to me, and see any videos that I post and things like that. So yeah, so big shout out, big thank you to everyone for watching. Make sure you come and tune in on Sunday for my 500th video stroke stream. Absolutely crazy. So come and join me on Sunday for celebrations. We'll be doing loads of giveaways. Come and join me on Monday. We'll be doing more HQ18 playtest and combiners and stuff. And hopefully revealing more about the ability cost changes and some bits like that throughout the week. So come and join me next week, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate everyone tuning in today. Not much gameplay, but I hope you've come from this with a lot more information on what's happening in HQ18. And you can take that back to your alliances and say, listen, there's a lot of positive things coming to the game. Just got to be patient and put up with these bugs for not much longer. And hopefully they can nail them and we can move on. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. See you Monday. See you Sunday. See you next Thursday. Thanks for tuning in and peace out, guys.